Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. We're delighted to be with you. We're delighted that you are with us. How wonderful it is for us to be together. For those of you who have been with us online every single week for a year, we're coming up on our YouTube anniversary, or I should say our Facebook Live anniversary. I'm smiling. It's certainly not been what we had planned for and not what we would have wanted, but in the face of all that we have been given, we have risen and we have responded. We remain together, we remain connected, and some who are here for the first time in a year, it's so meaningful to have you back in the sanctuary. Wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. Let's sing together. How good it is and holy for us to be together.
טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם
I invite you to rise if you're able as we bless the Shabbat candles. Very soon we will be able to maybe actually say the blessing, right?
Next week. Isn't it
Next week? No,
A week
it's
from
the
now.
other way.
2 weeks.
Will we be able to say the blessing? Not sure.
2 weeks.
Okay, but we will continue no matter what, regardless of the time in which we light the candles. We will continue to uphold this symbol of our responsibility as Jews to bring more light into the world. We cover our eyes, we light the candles at home if you haven't lit them yet, and we say together the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
We wish you a Shabbat Shalom. We wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. If you're sitting next to someone with whom you live, you can hug them or kiss them. Just express your love and wish them a Shabbat Shalom as we welcome Shabbat with the words of this beautiful medieval poem that speaks about God as our beloved friend of the soul, Yedid Nefesh, on page 2.
That prepare us for Shabbat, that warm up our souls. It's the bottom of page 2, L'chun Aran al Adonai, Psalm 95. Let's sing songs together to our Creator.
ותרים לו אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות תרים לו
Let the heavens rejoice, let the earth be glad. Ismechu hashamayim, on the top of page 3.
ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, 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 ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ.
Psalm that praises God, the voices of our souls and the instruments of our hands. Middle of page 3, Psalm 98. Zamru l'Adonai b'chinu.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור וקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויוש ודבר, נהרות ימחה
exalt the Lord our God and worship at God's holy mountain. Romemu, bottom of page 3.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
Rise if we're able, body or in spirit. Join together Psalm 29, top of page 4.
Mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Havul Adonai kavod ba'oz, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, Yishach Havul Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod irim Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayshaber Adonai et har ze'avanon, Vayarkem bemo egel Lebanon beSiryon, kemo ve'rehemi. Kol Adonai kotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil mivar, yachil Adonai mivar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechol elayalot, vayechesov le'arot, v'chalom o kulo merkavod, kulo omer, kulo omer kavod. Adonai lamabu yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Et amo,
May be seated. Come to the central prayer of the Kabbalat Shabbat service. On page 5, L'cha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabla. It's a moment on Friday night when we make sure we hear the news, that our soul hears the news that Shabbat is here. Think about the fact that we just finished celebrating Purim as we light the candles tonight. We go from this day of festivity and frivolity into this day of holiness and rest, but there is another day connected to Purim, which is Shushan Purim. It's the day in which the The cities that were walled, they got the news that we had been saved, that we had been redeemed, that we had been spared, that we would be victorious over our enemies. And that joyfulness took some time to get to the walled cities, and so their celebration is delayed. I think that sometimes happens even when Shabbat is here. We know that it's Friday night. We know that the sun is setting. We know that the week is behind us. But sometimes our own souls don't quite appreciate, recognize, they don't receive the news that Shabbat is here, that it's a different moment in time for a whole different set of priorities, a time for us to be focusing on a whole new set of realities. So in this prayer, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, with some of the joyful psalms we've already offered, we let our hearts know. We let the spaces that we are in be transformed into holy spaces. Shabbat is here. Time for rest, time for peace, reflection, refreshing our neshamas. Page 5, we join together. We welcome Shabbat into our hearts. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala.
welcome Shabbat, and we feel welcomed and embraced by Shabbat. We take a deep breath. We feel how our soul is transformed just as we enter the world of Shabbat, the realm of Shabbat. Our soul is expanded, and we will spend the next 25 hours trying not to do, not to make, not to create, but just to be. And we welcome Shabbat by singing the words that King David composed in honor of this holy day, expressing our gratitude for the gift of our souls, for the gift of Shabbat. It is good to thank you, God, and sing to your name. Tov lehodot la Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha Eliu.
Adonai, ulezamer, leshimcha elyon, tov lehodot l'Adonai, tov lehodot l'Adonai. Adonai, lezamer, leshimcha elyon, tov lehodot l'Adonai, להגיד בבוקר חסדך.
Top of page 6, Psalm 92, the final verses of the Shabbat song, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach.
Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, ke'erez bavanon yizkeh shetu. Adonai, behazrot Adonai malach Yehud lavish Adonai ozit azar aftikon tevel baltimot aftikon tevel baltimot nachon ki sachar לעולם אתה נשאו נרות אדוני נשאו נרות עולם יישאו נרות תוך ים מקולות מים רבים אדירים נשברי ים אדיר במרום אדוני אדיר במרום אדוני עדותיך נאמנו מאוד בביתך נאווה הקודש אדוני לאורך ימים אדוני לאורך ימים מקולות מים רבים אדירים נשברי ים אדיר במרום אדוני אדיר במרום אדוני.
I invite you to rise if you're able in body or in spirit as we invite one another to join as a minyan, as a quorum, as a community, the blessings of the Baruch Hu that transition us into the Ma'ariv service. Middle of page 6. Privately, the blessings of the evening service, Ma'ariv Aravim, middle of page 6.
אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 7. שמע Adonai
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, והיה אם שמוע תשמעו על מצוותי אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם היום. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Song of freedom, the song of redemption, the song that the children of Israel sang when they crossed the sea, opening the way to the promised land. On the top of page 8, who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai.
Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Menorah tehilot osef eleh. Menorah tehilot osef eleh. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children crossed the sea. They sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Menorah tehilot osef
We ask God to protect us in the darkness, to shelter us, over all the Jewish people of all of humanity, the holy city of Jerusalem. Ashkivenu, middle of page 8.
Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Amideinu Malkeinu Lechaim Ashliveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'Amideinu
To the sick and the suffering, send your hope. To the forgotten and the lonely, send your love. To the confused and the distressed, send your light. To the weary and the wronged, send renewed strength. To the pursuers of justice, send wisdom and faith. To the seekers of peace, send unwavering resolve. To Jerusalem and its people, send tranquility and joy. To the world tonight, send the blessings of Shalom.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai Habores sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai Habores sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
Rise if we're able. Join together at top of page 9. Vishamru.
Veshamru bnei Israel et hashabbat lasot et hashabbat ledorot hamerit olam. Veshamru bnei Israel et hashabbat lasot et hashabbat ledorot hamerit olam. Beini uven bnei Israel oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru bnei Israel et hashabbat lasot et hashabbat לדורות המרית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם.
Six Hebrew words begin the private meditation. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tilatecha, O Lord. So we take 3 steps out of this world and 3 steps forward into your presence. We ask that you open up our lips so that our mouths might declare your praise.
Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da.
Private Amidah, middle of page 9 to the bottom of page 11, either in the Hebrew or the translation or any private prayer of your heart. If you're still davening the Amidah, please continue your private prayers. If you have concluded, you may be seated as we offer a prayer for healing, prayer for strength, for well-being, for recovery, for healing of body and healing of spirit. Mishberach can be found on page 12.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
One of the interesting things in the description that the Torah has of the tabernacle, which began last week and will continue until the end of the book of Exodus, is that the Torah seems to put more emphasis at the beginning on the things that go inside the tabernacle than on the actual building. Last week's Parsha spoke a lot in detail about the ark. This week's Parsha will begin speaking about the Menorah. You know, when you build a house, there are architects here. When you build a building, when you build a house, you tend to begin with the foundations, and then you will worry about light fixtures and all kind of details. If the building is not ready, what's the point of discussing how are you going to illuminate the building? But in the Mishkan, it works the other way. The essential is that which we begin, regardless of whether it's what makes sense or not to put in the first place. So one of the things that this week's Parsha will discuss at the beginning is the issue of the Menorah. Menorah, a symbol of the Jewish people, a symbol of the modern state of Israel. We have a whole holiday dedicated to the oil and the lamps and the lights and the fire. And I was always amazed by this particular quality of fire. You know, fire is not an object. You can have logs, you can have matches, you can have gas, but fire is not the object itself. Fire is pure energy. Fire is not something that you can get hold of. Fire is the emanation of energy. And perhaps that is why already in the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, it says that the candle of God is the soul of human beings. And the Jewish tradition always saw fire as a metaphor for our soul. So the most important thing in that physical place that we inhabit as holy, as sacred, which is the Mishkan, is actually not a thing, but an energy. Just like in our existence, you know, we have lots of organs, we worry a lot about our health. Some of us exercise, work out, we try to have a healthy diet. In these past couple of months, we were very much concerned with washing our hands and keeping social distance and wearing our masks, because we know there's nothing more sacred for the Jewish tradition than life. And in order to stay alive, our body needs to function well. But if we want not only to stay alive, but to actually live, our soul needs to also function well. And this week's Parsha begins by God telling Moses, he doesn't mention him by name, but it's obvious that he's talking to Moses, that they have to put the menorah inside of the Mishkan and kindle the menorah. And you may ask, isn't it obvious? Of course, if you're going to put the candelabrum inside of the Mishkan, you're going to put the oil and the wicks and everything, it is obvious that you should kindle that fire. But it's not obvious for the Torah. And the Torah wants to make sure that we not only have the candelabrum, not only have the menorah, but that we also take good care of it by making sure that the menorah is always full of light. And I think the menorah is a metaphor for our soul. All of us have a soul. If you are here, if you're listening, if you're watching, if you're connecting with us, either in the sanctuary or online, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later, if you are able to listen to my words, it's because you have a soul. Because you not only have a physicality, but you also have spirituality. The question is whether we kindle that soul and we make sure that that soul continues to burn every day or not. You know, sometimes I watch on TV these football players or the basketball players, their six packs, their muscle, and sometimes I say, I wish I was like them. And of course, it all comes down to discipline. If I exercise like them, if I eat like them, if I worry about my body like them, maybe I will get close to their body. And the same happens with the soul. The soul is a muscle that we have to take care every single day. like the menorah. One day you don't add oil and there's no fire. So you have to kindle that fire again. And you have to make sure that every single day you add a little bit of oil to that lamp to make sure that it continues to emanate warmth and light. We all have a soul. The same way we all have biceps. We all have them. Some of us exercise them, and some of us has these kind of biceps. The same happened with the soul. So you have a soul, you have a tool, you have a light, you have a candle that dwells within you. The question is how much energy that candle has and how much energy it emanates to share it with the world. And I believe that the mitzvah that begins with this week's parsha of lighting the menorah is not something that is exclusive to the tabernacle and the holy architecture of the Israelites in the desert. It's something about our existential spiritual life. We have the candelabrum. We cannot forget to light the candle. So I want to invite you, as we begin this holy day that is all dedicated to our spirituality, to make sure you ask yourself whether you have kindled that light in this past week or not. And if the answer is no, well, the same way we make resolutions and we say, on Monday I will start my diet, on Monday I will go walk around the circle, I will exercise, I will do more for my body, make resolutions for your spiritual life. Try to see how are you going to add oil and to kindle the spark of your inner menorah. Because otherwise, you will look at others the same way I see at those basketball players saying, I will never get there. You know, to conclude, the Mishnah says that we have to, every Shabbat, we have to begin Shabbat by saying three things. The Mishnah says that we have to say, Esartem, Eravtem, Hadliku et Aner. We have to ask whether the Eruv is said, some technicalities that have to do with Shabbat observance, whether we have separated wherever we have to separate for the tithe, but the last thing that we have to say before the beginning of Shabbat is light the candle. And I'm sure that the Mishnah is not only alluding to those candles, but to these candles. I want to invite you on this Shabbat, in which we begin the parsha by speaking about the menorah, to ask yourself, how is your candle doing? Shabbat Shalom. We're going to rise as we open the ark to bless our children. Beautiful tradition that we have here at ATJC. As we approach the conclusion of our service, we bring our children closer and we bless them with the holy words of the priestly benediction.
Show you favor and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and bless you with a Shabbat of Shalom, a future of Shalom, a world of Shalom, as we all say, Amen. We remain standing as we close the ark. We join together page 12, Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו ככם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kakatuv b'toratech Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
of us in mourning and those observing Yortzeit remain standing for the Mourner's Kaddish. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 13. We extend our condolences to our own Orlando Lopez and Alex Lopez on the loss of their beloved cousin, Junior Montillo. May his memory be a blessing. Orlando, we are with you and wishing you comfort and strength. We also extend our condolences to the Yechezkel family on the tragic passing of David Yechezkel. May Chaim and Aviva, his parents, his brother Eric, sister Lara, and all of those connected with him, close to him, who loved him, and whom he also returned with love. May they find strength and comfort in these very difficult and painful days, months, and years ahead. Those in mourning and those observing Yortzeit, the Yortzeits this coming week, we remember with love John Alper, Maurice Cohen, Lillian Cohn, Esther DeCastro, Ariel Edelsberg, Molly Gladstone, Solomon Grafstein, Ida Hacken, Frida Kleiman, Adam Kreif, Rose Kurz, Robin Markson, Ida Montague, Sean Pert, Meyer Puder, Hortense Ray Haith, William Reinisch, Sylvia Rozenek, Philip Ruttenberg, Wilson Stembridge, Toba Weisman, Al Wisak, Bennett Young, and Louis Udowitz. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma divrach Herutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. I invite you to remain standing as the rest of us rise. We join together in Kaddish for Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron b'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Remain standing as we conclude our tefillah, the same way we began, by celebrating togetherness, by celebrating brothers and sisters who have welcomed Shabbat together, who will continue to enjoy this beautiful Shabbat together. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being with us. Service is tomorrow morning at 9:15. Join us again online. We love you. Shabbat Shalom.